$400, that's enough for a round-trip flight to Vegas. You could buy a decent used car. Heck, you could get yourself a whole flock of chickens and start your own fresh egg empire. Or, you could buy a Juicero. What's a Juicero, you ask? Well, buckle up, because this is a story about Silicon Valley hubris and a juicer so absurd it makes you question the very fabric of reality. Imagine a world where squeezing your own oranges is considered like, 2015. A world where you need a Wi-Fi enabled, app-controlled $400 machine to perform a task that requires the physical exertion of a particularly lazy hamster. That's the world Juicero tried to create, and failed, miserably. But hey, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's dive into the juicy, pun-intended details of this technological train wreck. Juicero burst onto the scene with all the subtlety of a tech bro doing a cannonball into a pool of venture capital. It was the brainchild of Doug Evans, a man with a vision to revolutionize the way we consume juice. With a background in health food startups, Evans was no stranger to ambitious projects. He envisioned a world where everyone could enjoy the benefits of cold-pressed juice without the hassle of traditional juicing methods. It was sleek, it was shiny, it had more buzzwords than a CES keynote speech. The Juicero machine promised to be the ultimate kitchen gadget, combining cutting-edge technology with the simplicity of pressing a button. It was designed to be a statement piece in any modern kitchen, a symbol of innovation and luxury. Cold-pressed juice revolution, they cried. Disruptive technology, they proclaimed. The excitement was palpable, with tech enthusiasts and health aficionados alike eager to get their hands on this groundbreaking device. The promise of fresh, nutrient-rich juice at the touch of a button was too enticing to resist. Proprietary juice packets, well, you get the idea. These packets were the heart of the Juicero system, pre-filled with a carefully curated blend of fruits and vegetables. Each packet was designed to deliver the perfect juice experience with no mess and no fuss. Just pure, unadulterated juice. This wasn't just a juicer, folks. This was an experience, a lifestyle. Juicero aimed to be more than just a kitchen appliance. It was a statement about who you were and what you valued. It was about embracing a healthier, more sophisticated way of living, a testament to the power of over-engineering everyday tasks. The Juicero machine was a marvel of modern engineering, with a complex array of sensors and mechanisms designed to extract every last drop of juice from the packets. It was a feat of technological prowess, albeit one that perhaps took itself a bit too seriously. Juicero promised to elevate your juice game to a level of sophistication previously unknown to mankind. It was about more than just juice. It was about creating an experience that was both luxurious and convenient. The machine was designed to be a centerpiece in your kitchen, a conversation starter that would impress your guests and elevate your daily routine. All you had to do was shell out a small fortune for the machine, sign up for a subscription service that would make Bezos jealous, and commit to a lifestyle of regular juice deliveries. The subscription model was designed to ensure that you always had a fresh supply of juice packets on hand, ready to be transformed into delicious cold-pressed juice at a moment's notice. And then surrender your free will to the Juicero app, which would then deign to let you know when your juice was ready. The app was an integral part of the Juicero experience, providing real-time updates on your juice status and ensuring that everything was running smoothly. It was a seamless integration of technology and convenience, designed to make your life easier and more enjoyable. It was like having a tiny, very expensive juice bar in your kitchen. Assuming your kitchen was also a Silicon Valley startup incubator. The Juicero machine was more than just a gadget. It was a symbol of the future, a glimpse into a world where technology and health intersected in the most luxurious way possible. It was a bold vision, one that promised to change the way we think about juice forever. Now, you might be thinking, what kind of sorcery does this magical machine possess? What kind of wizardry could possibly justify its existence in our modern kitchens? What kind of cutting-edge technology justifies a price tag that would make even Gwyneth Paltrow blush? Is it a marvel of modern engineering, a beacon of innovation, or perhaps a glimpse into the future of culinary arts? The answer, my friends, is both hilarious and depressing. Not much. In fact, the reality of this device is almost comical in its absurdity. See, the Juicero wasn't just a juicer, it was a monument to unnecessary complexity, a shrine to over-engineering, if you will. It was as if someone took a simple concept and decided to add every possible feature regardless of its actual utility. This thing had more sensors than a Tesla and enough computing power to launch a small satellite. Why? Because reasons. It was as if the designers were in a competition to see how many unnecessary features they could cram into one device. It had Wi-Fi because obviously your juicer needs to be able to connect to the internet, because who doesn't want to control their juicer from their smartphone while they're lounging on the couch? It had a QR code scanner because heaven forbid you try to juice an unauthorized piece of produce. Imagine the horror of trying to juice a regular apple instead of a pre-approved, pre-packaged apple slice. And let's not forget the piece de resistance proprietary juice packets, filled with pre-chopped fruits and vegetables, that cost more per ounce than some vintage wines. These packets were the epitome of luxury, designed to make you feel like you were getting something truly special. This wasn't innovation. This was a solution in search of a problem. A device that tried to solve a problem that didn't exist, and in doing so, created more problems than it solved. It was a testament to the idea that just because you can do something, doesn't mean you should. Section 4, the squeeze heard round the world. But here's the thing about building a house of cards on a foundation of hype. Eventually, the wind blows. And in the case of Juicero, that win came in the form of a Bloomberg article that will forever be etched in the annals of tech schadenfreude. Two Bloomberg reporters armed with nothing but their wits and a pair of strong hands did the unthinkable. They hand-squeezed a Juicero juice packet. And guess what? It produced juice. Shocking, I know. The internet, as it is wont to do, exploded. Memes were born. Jokes were cracked. Juicero, the company that promised to revolutionize the way we consume fruits and vegetables, had been undone by the one thing it couldn't out-engineer: human hands. Section 5. Rise of the Juicero, a timeline of tech hype. But let's rewind for a second. To truly understand the rise and fall of Juicero, we need to go back to the beginning, to the very roots of Silicon Valley's culture of innovation and hype. Because before it became the punchline of 1,000 tech blogs, Juicero was a Silicon Valley darling. It was the embodiment of the Valley's relentless pursuit of the next big thing, the next disruptive innovation that would change the world. It had raised over $120 million in funding from some of the biggest names in venture capital. It had celebrity endorsements, the kind of backing that most startups could only dream of. Investors were lining up, eager to get a piece of what they believed was the future of home juicing. It had a CEO who spoke in the kind of aspirational platitudes that made you want to simultaneously invest in his company and stage an intervention. His vision was grand, his promises even grander. He painted a picture of a world where everyone could enjoy fresh, healthy juice at the touch of a button. It was the perfect storm of Silicon Valley hype, a product that solved a problem nobody had, marketed with the kind of zeal usually reserved for religious awakenings. The launch events were extravagant, the marketing campaigns relentless. It was as if the entire tech world had collectively decided that Juicero was the next big thing. And for a while, it seemed like Juicero could do no wrong. The media was enamored, the public intrigued, positive headlines were everywhere, and early adopters couldn't stop raving about their new high-tech juicer. It was featured in all the right magazines, graced the countertops of all the right kitchens, and became a status symbol for the health-conscious elite. Owning a Juicero was a statement, a declaration that you were on the cutting edge of technology and wellness, and even managed to convince people that paying $8 for a bag of pre-chopped kale was a perfectly reasonable thing to do. It was a testament to the power of marketing and the allure of convenience. People were willing to pay a premium for the promise of fresh, healthy juice without the hassle. It was the emperor's new juicer, and for a brief, shining moment, everyone was drinking the expensive, pre-packaged Kool-Aid. The hype was real, the excitement palpable. But as with all things too good to be true, the cracks began to show, and the reality of Juicero's limitations became impossible.